What is up, you guys? It's your boy JanC. Would you like to stay strong, healthy, and with a lot of stable energy in your bloodstream and your muscles, and stay young with that fabulous face of yours? I believe I have something for you. And that is called, ladies and gentlemen, intermittent fasting. Yeah, that's the intro. I've been keeping you guys waiting. I know, I'm sorry, you guys. Like, honestly, I am sorry, but I'm just gonna make the video. What is intermittent fasting? The word intermittent fasting basically means occurring irregularly or not in a specific rhythm. There are a few ways of intermittent fasting, but today I'm going over the one I've heard the most about. The idea of intermittent fasting is eating in a 6 to 8 hour window and then fasting for the rest of 24 hours, which is 16 to 18 hours. Now you may think, hey man, are you nuts? I don't want to end up like the mother in Requiem for a Dream. She heard voices from her refrigerator. That's bad. Wait, relax. You're not gonna die. I've been doing this for 3 weeks now. Something very important to have in mind is that even though you try something out, doesn't mean you always have to stick to it. For example, if you go to the gym and eat healthy, it doesn't mean you go every day and you're now a fitness model. You find your balance. That's balance. Find the balance. I'm starting to sound like a monk. Namaste. When it comes to eating, when you eat food, you take in bacteria with the food, which is normal because there is bacteria in the environment. That's why you have an immune system. How amazing! So, when you digest the food and the bacteria goes into your stomach, cellular inflammation occurs, which obviously takes the body temporarily out of balance. When you fast, this inflammation goes away and your body gets into a better balance. Then your body starts listening to your hormones, fix itself, for example joint pain and more serious inflammation. To explain this better, listen to this. Think about food as music. Imagine you're driving a taxi and the passenger represents your hormones. So the passenger is sitting in the back and he's trying to tell you where to drive. Isn't it going to be pretty hard for you to hear what the passenger is trying to tell you if you're always blasting music in the car speakers? You won't hear him at all over the sound of your booming beats or just the radio. So what happens when you fast is that you listen to the passenger and he tells you where to go. Otherwise you're just driving somewhere and doing something. I mean, it still works, but you would think it's kind of better to listen to the passenger, right? Food and metabolism. The way you work energy out of your food. This is all the food that contains carbs. Sugar, pasta, fruit, rice, potatoes, legumes, bread, milk, yogurt, and vegetables. When we eat carbs, our body converts them into glucose. And what the fuck is glucose? It's blood sugar, or blood glucose. When you eat 3 meals a day, you're really used to your blood glucose level dropping. That's when you're hungry and think, I'm hungry, I better have something to eat. But when you don't eat glucose for 10 to 12 hours, your glucose stores deplete, like when your car runs out of gas. When this happens, your body goes into ketosis, which is a state when your body starts to produce ketones in your liver, shifting your energy levels from glucose to fat. When you eat a meal with carbs, which then turns into glucose, that glucose energy goes into cells via insulin receptors. And yeah, that sounds complicated. An easy way to think about this is when you're dialing gasoline into your car, you can just imagine the hole for the gasoline as an insulin receptor. On the other end, when the cell can't take in any more glucose, 70 grams can be stored in the liver and 200 grams can be stored in the muscle. But when this space is used up, the rest of the glucose is turned into glycogen, or as you may know it as body fat, energy. So the crucial or most important part of the 6 to 8 hour eating window is getting the right energy from the right food. You want to eat a bit more fat, not too much. For example, I eat avocados. Intermittent fasting turns you from a sugar burner into a fat burner. When you're always starting up your metabolism again, when you're eating 3 times a day, you always have to keep the blood sugar level stable, which can sometimes be hard. The benefits of being a fat burner, on the other hand, are that your energy levels are much more stable, especially when burning ketone bodies. Longevity, aka living longer. So you want to live a longer life. Then get this, when you're fasting, you also become more hormone receptive and sensitive. Like I said before, that doesn't happen nearly as much when you're eating 3 times a day. Now when it comes to aging, the number one factor in aging is our DNA stops working correctly. It gets damaged. Now listen to this. There are 7 longevity hormones in our body. They're called the sirtuins. The sirtuins produce a protein that repairs our DNA by removing chemicals that get in the DNA's way of working correctly. Here is the best part. Not eating, fasting, stimulates the sirtuins. And they also get stimulated when you exercise. Fasting also promotes the growth of new neurons in your brain. Muscle and bodybuilding, bruh. When you drain your blood sugar, you become more insulin sensitive. It means that when you refill on, for example, carbs, it goes straight to your muscle and fills you up with energy, which is really good when you're working out and bodybuilding, or just working out in general. More about building your body and getting those gains. Human growth hormone is a naturally occurring hormone, which means we all have it in our body, which helps build everything in the body. Literally everything in the body. For example, muscle. Human growth hormone is sometimes called the youth hormone. Now this is crazy. When you fast and do it right, your human growth hormone levels skyrocket. And just so you get an idea of what I'm talking about skyrocketing here, in women, human growth hormone increases by 1,300%. And in men, 2,000%. That's crazy. You can get this naturally by fasting. Some bodybuilders inject human growth hormone, buy it illegally to get more gains. I also mentioned that in my other video about steroids. Click that to watch that. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up because it honestly does stuff on YouTube. And go ahead and comment what you think, ask me questions, anything. Cause trust me, if I can do it, you can do it too. Balance. That just happened.